Alright, so this is the first video in a new series on my YouTube channel, and these are going to be called quick, no BS tool reviews. So no BS, let's get into it. Alright, so the product that we're going to be talking about today is called it's a Warsun. I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation, but the Warsun LED rechargeable work light. And this is a small portable light, 30 watts, 1200 something lumens, 18650 lithium ion batteries. I don't really know what all that means, but it sounds pretty good. What I do know is that I've used this thing for a couple of months and it's worked flawlessly, and it's impressive in just about every aspect of the light. So if you're looking on Amazon at rechargeable work lights, there's a lot of choices, to be honest with you, and there's a lot of good choices out there. What drew me to this particular light was the price point, and the first one that I bought was a little over 17 bucks, and the second one that I bought, that I'll show you in just a second, was $25. So the price has gone up about 8 bucks, and I don't know if that's just a seasonal fluctuation or something like that. You know, the prices on Amazon fluctuate all the time. But for 17 bucks, 2,900 customer reviews, 4.7 out of 5 stars, 17 bucks, I said, hey, let's take a chance and let's order this light. So I ended up liking it so much, and after using it for a couple of months, I ordered a second one, and I'll get into that, why I bought a second one, in a little while. But that's how I know the price for this one was 25 bucks. So this is what it looks like when you get it. It's very small, very compact. All right, so here's what's inside the box. You got a business card. I can't believe there's instructions for this thing. Instructions. This thing's pretty simple to operate. You really don't need instructions. You do have a charging cable, and then of course the light itself. So there's the light itself, and as you can see, this thing is really small. It's very conveniently handheld, and if you're working on old cars, old Jeeps, underneath them like I am all the time, this thing is the perfect size. And you would think, hey, I need a bigger light. I want to light up, you know, I want better lighting underneath the car or whatever. You'd be surprised how small or how bright this thing is for how small it is. That's what I was trying to say. But the charging cable is just that. It's just a charging cable, and it's a USB charging cable, but it does not come with the USB part that plugs into the wall. I don't know what that's called, but those things are pretty cheap these days, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't include one. So you're going to have to find one of those from your stash or order one or whatever, and that's a little bit inconvenient, especially at the $25 price point. 17 bucks, okay, I get it, but at 25 bucks, come on. Include the whole thing, so all I have to do is plug it in. All right, I'm going to show you the light in a little bit more detail in just a second, and then we're going to do some actual practical demonstrations here on the car, and I'll show you guys how much it lights up everything. But just to give you an idea, the on and off button is right here, the charger is over here, and it's got 3 settings. Low, and it starts out on low. I actually wish it started out on high, because I use the high setting the most. There's medium, and then there's bright, and that may not look that bright in the video here, but I promise you, and trust me, that is a very bright light when you're underneath a car or working on a dark, you know, something that's dark and you need some light. So I know I mentioned that it's handheld and that I really like it and everything like that, but it's also very rugged, and I've dropped this thing multiple times, and they say right on the website that it can handle anything below 5 feet is fine. We're going to kind of test that here in just a minute, but I can tell you I've already tested it, and I have no problems with the functionality of the light. It still works great. And it's got kind of a hard plastic shell, and then around the edges of it, it's got like a rubberized, and it just got a nice grip, nice texture to it. And when you hold it in your hand, especially if your hands are dirty, greasy, oily, you can still grip onto this thing. So on the website they say that they show a picture of it in the rain, I guess, so it's water resistant maybe. But I can tell you, my dad has one of these lights, and my buddy Matt has one of these lights, and they both love the lights. Matt has used his for the same purpose I use mine for, automotive work, and he absolutely loves it. He was changing he was draining the radiator on his square body truck and into a bucket, and I guess somehow dropped the light into the bucket, so it was submerged. It wasn't submerged very long, but it was submerged in antifreeze, and he pulled it out, dried it off, and this thing didn't miss a beat. So not going to claim that it's waterproof, but definitely water resistant. All right, a couple more things before we actually do a demonstration there, and that's the charge time and the operating time. And the website says that it operates on high for 4 hours and on low setting for up to 12 hours. And I can tell you that my experience has been pretty consistent with that. You can get more than 4 hours at a high on this thing, but what happens is the light just starts to kind of fade on you. And that's why I bought a second light. Now, I'm a weekend warrior, weekend hobbyist. If you need a light like this to run all day, 8, 10, 12 hours, not the light for you on high anyways. On a low setting, it will run that long, but not on high. So I got a second light. This is actually the second one, and I'm just gonna keep one on the charger, which you're probably not supposed to do, but that's what I'll do. And then I'll keep one in use. When that one dies, I'll swap them out. So I always have the light ready to go. Now, it does take a while to charge these things, and I'll show you when it's charging. It's got an internal light, which I kind of like actually, as opposed to like an external little red or green, and kind of the whole corner of the light lights up red or it lights up green when it's charged. Red, it's not charged. Green, it's charged. So they make that part pretty simple. So let's look at the light in a little bit more detail, a little bit more close up, and I want to show you guys what I really like about it. What really sold me on it was this little magnet on the back, and the magnetized, being able to just stick it wherever you're working, because if you're underneath a car working on it, everything's metal around you, so you can just stick it on there. The magnet's really what sold me on this light, and I love the magnet. It also gives you several other mounting options, and I'll show you guys that. And I'll also plug it in, show you the red light, and show you this charging port in a little bit more detail, because this charging port has a charging port, but it also has a USB connection as well. So you can use this thing as a power pack, charge your phone or whatever you want in an emergency, and even not in an emergency. You got a little power pack, portable power pack, and a really cool light. So that's a really cool feature. Let's look at it in a little bit more detail. All right, so here's the light a little bit closer up, and you can see a lot better the rubber grip around it. There's the charging port. There's the light. Very simply, you got low, medium, and high. So 3 different intensity levels, and that's it. Very basic. Feels like a really solid switch. And that switch is a kind of a rubberized switch, and probably waterproofed, I'm not sure, but definitely water resistant. All right, so one of the cool things about this light is all of the options that you have as far as how to mount it. And it can just stand up on its own like that, up on its end, no problem. But it does have some mounting options here. You've got a, what I call a keyhole. I guess that would hang like on a nail or a screw, anything that would fit in that hole there, and that would hold it. You've also got this piece here that pops out like that, so you could hang it up. You've got this little kind of kickstand looking thing, so you can stand it up like that, and you can start to get some different angles on it because it's adjustable all the way like that, which is almost directly up. Of course, if you need to put it directly up, you can do it like that. And then definitely my favorite is this magnet here, and the reason I like that the most is because underneath a car, if you get a lot of metal around, you don't always have something you can hook it on, and you don't always want to stand it up, and you can stick this thing just about anywhere. And you can hear this magnet. It's small, it's small, but it's pretty strong, and it will stay on just about anything that you stick it on. And I love that feature, and honestly, that is what sold me on this light. All right, so under this, you've got your charging port, and you've got a USB port. And real quick, let me show you guys what this looks like when you plug it in to charge it, and then let's test it and see if it works on a standard iPhone. All right, so there it is plugged in, and you can see the red light. And like I said, that's an internal red light, and I think that's really cool. It's very, very visible, and it's very obvious you're charging. When it's fully charged, it's going to turn green. And that's pretty simple. And this is the part they don't give you. They give you the cable, but they don't give you this part that plugs into a standard outlet. And again, a little inconvenient. All right, so here's a standard iPhone cord. iPhone, it's plugged into the light, plug it into my phone, and nothing happens. Now this happened to me before, and I can take the USB out, put it back in, and a lot of times, there it goes. So we are charging. That's pretty cool. So if that happens to you, because there's some complaints on the website about the power pack portion of it not working correctly, take the USB out, put it back in, and it will usually light up. But hey, we didn't buy this light to be a power pack, right, and charge phones. We bought it to light up work areas and dark spots like right underneath that car. So let's go check this thing out and put it through some practical tests. All right, so all the talk and all the specs in the world doesn't compare, in my opinion, to practical application. And like I said, I've used this thing enough to where I ordered a second one, and it's great working on a vehicle, doing anything in tight spots. And let me kind of give you a demonstration here, even with the light on. I got a pretty good size fluorescent light up there, but you'll still be able to see. And let's look at this corner right here. So you can see that pretty well. That's setting 1, that's low. And then that's setting 2. And if you really want to see it, 100% setting 3. And honestly, that's where I typically work. That thing is, it's just great. And you can see how bright it is. You can see every nook and cranny. It's just great. It literally lights up that whole transmission tunnel down there. You can see the transmission cross member. And watch what happens when I turn it off. So big difference, huge difference. Setting 1, low, setting 2, medium, and setting 3, high. So here's another example. There's the brakes, and you can see them pretty good, right? And look at that. That's low, medium, and high. And you can just really see everything with this light. And you know what the best part of it is you can just kind of stick it anywhere. So anywhere that you're having issues and you need both your hands, this thing will give you the ability to work on stuff, you know, kind of hands-free. And that's my favorite part of it, is that stupid little magnet. But it works really good, and it's so nice to be able to have adequate lighting and then be able to put it somewhere and it stays put. So one thing I almost forgot to mention was the you know, the on and off switch is right there on the kind of the face of the light, and I think it would be better if it was on the edge or the perimeter anywhere, because that's kind of where your fingers are, and you could work a light, you know, you could work the light switch a little bit better there. And I'll tell you what happens is you start hunting for it and you get it on, right? And then when you want to turn it off, inevitably, just out of habit, you're going to go like that and you're going to blind yourself. And I know that because I've done that many times, and I just did it, but I did it for a demonstration. But yeah, if the light switch was on one of the, you know, on the perimeter housing, particularly up here, right, it'd be really convenient there, or even as a thumb switch right there. So that's just a call out, not a big deal, but future improvements of this model could benefit from, I think, moving the switch to the perimeter. All right, and so when you're done using it, you can just, all right, so when you're done using it, you can just, all right, so when you're done using it, you can just, all right, when you're done using it, you can just go like that. Finally got it. And it sticks to just about anything. And even after all those drops, works perfectly. Again, less than 5 feet, which that was. Wanted to demonstrate the ruggedness of this little guy. Pretty cool little light. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this review of this light. This thing is tough, durable, lightweight, easy to transport, handheld, and obviously you guys know I like the magnet on the back, so great little product. 17 bucks for the first one a couple months back, probably I think back in like October, November. $25 for this one. I'm not saying go out and buy one of these lights. I'm telling you, I've had good luck with it. I have put it through its paces. I'm rough with it. I've gotten oil and grease on it. My buddy Matt submerged his in antifreeze, and it just keeps going. So it's a high quality product, and if you, again, do any kind of work like this, automotive work, welding, anything at all, you're going to appreciate this kind of a light. So All right, like I said, I'm not saying go out and buy one of these lights, but if you are interested in purchasing one of these lights, there's an Amazon link down in the description box, and if you buy this light from that link, that certainly helps support my channel, and I'd really appreciate it. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was the first in the series. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down in the comment section. Should I do more of these type of videos? Do not do them anymore? Maybe you didn't like this one. Let me know what you think. So thanks for checking out the video. Appreciate your support, and as always, thanks for watching.